Well, hello, Peachtree Corners. Again, your friendly neighborhood city manager here to spend a couple minutes talking to you about things going on in our fair city in light of this coronavirus and COVID-19 new normal that we have. I do want to say that I am pleased, the mayor and council are very pleased with overall how everybody is kind of reacting to this new normal, how people are doing mostly what they need to do to keep their distance. I will say that hot off the press, just a few moments ago, the governor of Georgia did announce that he was extending the emergency declaration until May 13 from April 13. That probably means that he did so that, of course, he has some emergency authorities unilaterally as governor that he would not have if that emergency declaration had not been extended. So that probably means that the shelter-in-place order, which was set to expire or is set to expire April 13th, will be extended, maybe not through the entire May 13th time frame, but I think we all need to be prepared for it to be extended. I believe that most of the modeling that we have seen has Georgia hitting our peak for coronavirus cases the week of April 20 through 25. That week, the models show that we would hit a peak that would exceed the total hospital beds in the state. And I do know that as of last night, we had exceeded 9,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the in the state, and we are approaching 350 deaths. And that was just of last night. So I think this emergency declaration extension that the governor just did is because we haven't hit that peak yet. We aren't over the other side to where that curve has been flattened. So I think we just all need to be prepared. I know managing expectations is a big thing that organizations try to do to their constituents. The city is no different, but oftentimes we have to manage our own expectations. And the more that we're preparing ourselves mentally to be, keeping our distance for a period of time, the easier it'll be if it does get extended versus all of us saying, oh, on April 13th, it'll for sure be done, and then it isn't. It'll make it much more difficult if we don't manage our own expectations. Now, given that we are wanting to keep our distance, as it stands right now, we are going to have our next meeting of the city, which happens to be a council work session. It will be done via video teleconference. The way it will work is sometime Thursday or Friday when the agenda is published, there will be a call-in number and access code for anybody that wants to participate or observe the meeting, listen in on the meeting, can call in, and they will be able to listen in on the meeting. Council and staff will be conducting this meeting remotely, and so you'll be able to listen in on the entirety of the meeting, and then usually within 48 hours after that, we will have post-produced the recording of that so that you can actually watch the meeting and, mayor and council on video as they discuss it. But live, you'll be able to listen in. You'll be muted because we don't know. There could be hundreds of people calling in, so everyone will be muted. Council will only be able to talk when they essentially raise their hand, and then they get unmuted to be able to speak. But just want to let you know that, we are going to conduct business on the critical things that the city needs to have done. We're not going to stop doing those kind of things. And as a public organization, our public is more than willing to be a part of that process and observe mayor and council governing. So as it stands right now, there's really not much more to discuss. I want to, before we get into a couple of good news items, I did want to remind everybody again to, keep themselves separate from, non-family members, such that we're mitigating any spread of this virus that we can. I know that there's a lot of things as we get into the end of the school semester and into the summer, that a lot of questions as to whether there will be certain group activities, and we just don't know yet. But while we're in this this stay at home or shelter in place order, for us to do our part and take advantage of time that you may not have to spend time with family, to do projects at home, out in the yard, catch up on a good book, other things that we oftentimes don't have time for because life just was coming at us too fast. So thanks for everything that everybody's doing. And on that note, I do want to call out a few specific things that some of our local businesses and corporate tenants are doing as their way of giving back. And we're collecting these stories and putting them on our website so that we can make sure that we are giving credit where credit's due. So a couple of things that have been brought to our attention since I last spoke with you. One of our local restaurants, Noble Finn, has given away 400 pounds of bread dough for people who want to take their recipe and go home and make it. So if you go on Noble Finn's Facebook page, you'll know when the next time they're going to give away bread. Gigi's Cupcakes, another local eating establishment, has delivered free cupcakes to local medical facilities. Most recent one was Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. They went over there and gave away cupcakes to the staff members there, medical staff. And then Creighton Promotions, a local company, is producing My Superheroes Wear Face Masks t-shirts. And they're donating $5 per shirt to the CDC Foundation's All of Us Combat Coronavirus effort. So far, they have sold over 700 shirts in Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, California, and New York. You can order a shirt online at ourhiddenheroes.com. So, those three corporate tenants of the city that are doing their part, and then one that just hit my email inbox last night was from the area sales manager of a hospitality group who happens to be the owner of a Hometown Studios hotel in the city. And this individual is reaching out to me regarding a program they're doing. They are offering discounted rates for temporary housing or complimentary 3-night stay for first responders within their hotel. So they're offering discounted rates for temporary housing of families that are in need of the temporary housing. And on first responders, there's a number of first responders that are having to self-quarantine because they were subjected to somebody with a coronavirus or COVID-19 symptoms. And oftentimes these first responders don't have a place to go to get away from the other members of their family as they're self-quarantining. And so this hospitality organization that owns the Hometown Studios is offering 3-night stay for first responders as a result. So those are some things that locally we're seeing happen as these businesses are stepping up to the plate. So, and there's many more to follow, or many more examples of it that, as time allows, I'll let you know who's doing what. There's lots of examples of individual people or families doing things in some creative ways for us to keep our sanity, so to speak. So again, thanks for everything you're doing. to get us past this. Stay safe. Remember to wash your hands, maintain social distancing guidelines, do the right thing, and together we'll get through this. So I think at the end of this, we do have a couple of at least one question. Let's see. Can we make it mandatory in Peachtree Corners to wear masks of some kind or some kind of a face covering? Yes, the answer to that question is mayor and council could in fact do that. I do know that, they have been pretty clear, and staff has been, as a result, any chance we get pushing out adherence to CDC guidelines. And I know late last week they did change their guidelines to encourage the wearing of masks, not necessarily the N95 mask, which has been reserved really for medical personnel, but a mask of some sort for two reasons, according to them. One is it's less about wearing it to not get it from somebody else, to have, contract the virus from somebody else. It's more to prevent that individual wearing the mask from spreading it to others. And two, it ends up allowing or reminding you not to touch your face. When you have a mask on and you can't get to your face like you normally would, it kind of is a good reminder to not touch your face, which is, of course, one of the ways that you can contract the virus from other locations or other individuals. So I will certainly bring it up to mayor and council. Again, the delicate balance of imposing versus trying to let people's free will is going to be the debate amongst council. I do know that, again, they encourage people to adhere to guidelines of the CDC and other public health professionals. So there's certainly an encouragement to wear it when you are out in public, but making it mandatory, we can throw it out there and see and go from there. So again, thanks for everything you're doing, and look forward to talking to all of you very soon. Thanks. God bless.